Welcome back on the VST channel, guys. I have here the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra and it's running the latest AWF1, which is also known as the June update, which is also known as the Super update, which also has been titled as a very big and massive update and caused some controversy here for all the Samsung users out there. Why? Well, guys, just check. Today it is the 26th of June and usually, yeah, Samsung are quicker than this, so it's almost July and yet here is my June update video. So first things first, I'm gonna give you a very brief outline of what has happened. So if you know all about this, guys, then you might just skip this part and go into the testing process. But if you don't know, guys, and you are just tuning in here for the first time, then well, the long story very short is that I had to change my CSC from EUX to get to THL, the Thailand, to be able to install this firmware. So at some point, none of the other European countries were getting the update. And there were some rumors outlining that Samsung found some bugs and they even halted the update, which is the AWF1, started to work on something called BWF2, which apparently was trying to fix those bugs they found and that the European users will get this new update. But it didn't really happen, and soon enough the European users, countries like Romania, Serbia and all others, Italy as well, UK, they started to get the AWF1 is for sure the latest June update. It's more than 2 gigabytes and Samsung is really the king on providing very short changelogs with such huge updates, only saying that apparently the device behavior somehow has been improved. And of course we know we have the latest security patch level from June. Nothing more, nothing less, guys, but there are some new changes and I tried to test them out. The main change, guys, the main change that is so really obvious to us is the one that when you go to the portrait mode, there is now a dedicated 2x portrait mode, and I wanted so much to test really the video and also for the capabilities of these phones. So I did 2 separate videos testing the video in night, the video in day, ultra wide, you know, zoom, everything, and I did the same also with the photos. So if you want to check my dedicated videos on the photos and the video quality, you can check this. But here, this is my full June review, and what you're gonna see in this video, I'm gonna start with UZ of stuff, guys. I'm gonna go and check how the home screen works, navigation, notifications, animations. We're gonna check the quick settings, the blur animations. We're also gonna check some widgets, the fluidity, also recent menu, up drawer, search, wallpaper and style, some folder animations. I'm gonna open some applications to just check how fluid they are or not. Instagram, then also of course I'm going to open the camera, check for the camera animations. I'm gonna show you the memory allocation, guys. I'm also gonna test here the split window and also pop-up window, guys, and then I'm gonna show you some of the benchmarking that I did. I got some results from 3Mark Extreme stress test taken several days apart, guys, and I'm gonna show you also some of the photo samples that I was able to take with the June update. So first things first, guys, I'm using this almost since more than 2 weeks and I didn't really restart my phone since 38 hours, so it's not like I fresh restarted it whatsoever. So I'm just going to use it the way I use it. I have a lot of my notifications there. I still have a lot of my applications, so I will not close now anything. So it's just gonna be as much as I can stay to the reality. So the first we start is of course home screen. So this is the first animation that I always try to test. Overall, Samsung were able to improve this with time, and I also test this in this mode because there has been some updates where this exact landscape home screen animation was really awful. Now, as we can just see, guys, from what we see on the screen, it's actually quite nice, so not a problem here at all. Now, guys, what we can also do is try to navigate. So if I go to the right, I'm gonna get to my Google Now. Also, sometimes, guys, this animation was chopping some of the previous version, not anymore. If I go to left, I will be able to access all my other screens, and then if I guys go here, I'm gonna get access to the up drawer. So it seems that everything is pretty responsive and pretty fluid. Now notice that I don't use any custom settings now for this type of test because I want to be really as much as I can close to the stock version. Now let's check the notifications, guys. I would say it is pretty much fluid and we can invoke this from everywhere. There is a certain settings on this one If I scroll one more time, I'm gonna get access to the quick settings. This animation was also not the best, but apparently Samsung managed to improve it. Now I would say it's quite nice. You can go and check all the toggles there. You can also try to edit the buttons. Okay, so this is the animation. When you try to edit the buttons, you're gonna get this nice animation, and of course then boom, just go back on your main screen. Now let's check the blur animation, guys. I'm going to go to my notifications one more time, but slower this time so that you can see what happens on the background. All right, blur is applied nicely everywhere on the screen. And with that said, guys, now it's time to check some of the widgets. So the first thing I'm gonna open is of course the weather one. I always praise the animations here from One UI. They're really very nice. Okay, one more time. Opening and closing, what's so nice. And then we have of course the battery widgets. Then here, guys, I have the YouTube widgets. So it seems to be quite responsive. If I click on home and open it, see widget animation is, I would say, very nice. And also of course we have this background dancing around. You can just see I put some wallpapers to be able to illustrate the case. So when I just go outside, everything shrinks, and we have this kind of like a pop-up animation. So recent menu, guys, one more time. All right, all my apps are opened. We don't have any luck whatsoever. If I click here, I'm gonna be able to do this search inside. I have all my options, recent searches whatsoever, uptime. Of course, I'm gonna get to this uptime application. So one more time, if I am to open the recent menu, guys, I would say it is quite nice. Now with that said, guys, I'm going to still not close everything. Why? Because later I want to show you the memory usage, and now I'm gonna show you the app drawer. So let me just try to search for something. Okay, app drawer, I'm opening an application. Everything pretty much smooth, guys. I don't have any major concerns right now. The only problem that I have is only with consistency, which means that I have to do something 10 times, maybe 2 out of 10 times. It's not going to be so fluid. But now, guys, let's do wallpaper and style. So I'm going to click here, wallpaper and style. All right, I'm going to try to change the wallpaper so that you can just see what is going to happen like in real time. So I'm going to press next, changing the wallpaper here on my lock screen and also on my home screen. Changes apply to the lock screen. Yeah, again, it's quite smooth. I don't have any problems with this. One more time, I'm gonna go inside the wallpaper and style. You can also go, guys, and try to choose a color palette. So I choose right now the green one. Okay, wait a bit for everything to be updated there. I can just see green palette everywhere, and this is the same also for my volume rocker. And apparently, guys, you can turn off and just use the standard one. The next thing I want to show you guys is the folder animation. So I have here the social folder. Opening and closing the folder will just give me this nice fluid animation. I can open also my media folder, and everything is running smoothly. No problems, no status whatsoever. Now it's time to open some of the applications so that you can just see the opening and the closing animation. I'm gonna start with Telegram, opening Telegram, scrolling through it, minimizing it one more time, open. All right, one more time. It's quite fluid. Let's open Messenger, guys. It's the same. All right. Let's open Facebook, guys. It is the same, and I can now just go outside. Let's open Instagram, guys, and try to scroll. And if I go to the left to invoke the camera, all right, even this animation is smooth. There has been some updates where this animation here, guys, the transition between the proper application from Instagram and here the camera was very bad. Not in this update or not in the last 2 or 3 updates. Was quite nice. And now it's time to open the camera. So I'm going to open the camera, switch to the front camera so that you can just see that it is in real time. Switch through all the modes. Okay, one more time. Opening, closing the camera. Okay. In the recent years, guys, even this animation here was very bad on my S21 Ultra, even not ideal on the S22 Ultra. But now with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 and with all the recent updates, I really think that Samsung tried to fix that one. It really worked quite nice. Now, guys, something I always show in this test, if I go to developers option, I want to show you here, guys, the memory that is used. So I'm going to select here 1 day. The average memory use is almost 7 gigabytes. I have 12 gigabytes on my unit, guys, and what is interesting to see is that most of the memory, of course, is reserved for the Android operating system, Android system, and then also for the One UI, which is on top of this, guys. You can also go and invoke the statistics. It's a very nice one, and you can just check which of your application is using the most of the memory. Now, let's try to use the split screen. I have created here, guys, this combination. So opening a Telegram with YouTube, boom, here it is. All right, scrolling through it, quite nice. You can also go and try to reverse the screen. You can go and just try to go and minimize one of those applications, okay? And I also created here the YouTube and with Twitter, so I can do this the same, guys. All right, and now this time let's try to maximize YouTube. It is not so fluid, but of course it's a very nice feature in case you want to watch something on YouTube and just write with somebody or chat with somebody. How can we also test now the pop-up, guys? Very easy. You go inside the recents menu, you take the application, guys, and you have the option to either put it there to open it with a split window, like for example with Telegram, right, which is not something I want to do right now, or guys, you open your application and then you just take the icon and you put it there, and then boom, you get this nice pop-up. You can move it around, and I'm not sure if you know, guys, but then you are able to do I think at least 5 of those. So we can have here a pop-up with Twitter, a pop-up with Telegram. The split window is something that I use quite often, the pop not so much, but certainly there is a use case there, so it might be something that you want to touch base with and just see if it works for you. Now let's get into the benchmarking part. The first time I got the updated, I waited for a few days and then I ran the Wildlife Extreme stress test, and guys, the results were not so good. The best loop score was a bit higher than what I used on the May update, but the lowest loop score was very low, resulting into this very bad stability rating below 50%. 2 or 3 days ago I reran the test, guys. This time the best loop score was not so high, but then the lowest loop score was a bit higher, and I really got, I would say, a fairly okay stability rating. But on the May updates, guys, you might as well want to see on the May updates, 5th of May, I was able to just get 75% of stability. Well, guys, it's a bit weird, right? If you just see here the curve, which is showing all the scores, right? This is with the May update. With the June update, guys, it looks a bit more logical because we have the highest loops in the beginning and then we have the lowest loops somewhere at the end, right? But in the end of the day, guys, this here is a very thermally stable device. Why? Because the Xiaomi 20 Ultra and the Oppo Find X6 Pro, doing this test, guys, were able to reach higher temperatures beyond even 50 Celsius. Here, guys, 45, and I actually did a whole video showing you the Wildlife Extreme stress test. Now, because this update caused a certain level of controversy in the whole Samsung community, guys, I asked you if you already get a chance to experience, please share your findings. And there were several replies. I want to read them through because I believe it's important to share the feedback with everybody helping us do some tests. So, Bamsemus is saying, no issues at my end, haven't really noticed any improvements either, but it was already very good, so I'm happy with it. Maybe a slight improvement to the battery life is editing, and I really like the 2x portrait mode. So battery life is certainly something I want to share with you as well after I've read all the feedback there. MarkBlack91 is saying, I've got problems with the fingerprint sensor. The pictograph isn't showing up after the phone has been off for a few minutes. The sensor works, but the pictograph doesn't show. If music is playing in the background, it shows up like 3-5 seconds later. Other than that, it works great. Animations are even smoother, and I guess that he is referring here to this animation. I really hope that in the meantime he'll get this fixed. Then we have another comment from Udrun Zezhetzavatsa. Let's be clear, we're all waiting with the camera improvements with this massive update, and now we're being grateful that there are many bugs and the device are working pretty much alright. Yes, okay, iron is there. Then we have the LBS 4179. He got the update yesterday in the middle of this. He's saying so far so good, no major differences, everything was great, haven't faced any bugs whatsoever. Also, this guy Radulescu, I think he's from Romania, he is also experienced this here, the missing fingerprint icon sometimes on the lock screen, Play Store freezing sometimes when he's updating the apps, and he also thinks that the battery seems a bit worse. But that's usually the case after any update, and that's kind of normal, guys. The phone needs some time to recalibrate and just get to know you, the usage and all of this, the patterns, so it's there. Overall, it doesn't feel like much, and I have at least these two issues, so okay, this is also a good observation. Some people got the update in Bahrain, no problems whatsoever. Something very important, Blood is saying that Samsung removed the 8K high bitrate option, which is quite interesting because previously this worked with the full video mode, but not with Pro, not with neither. Now, guys, what is this, guys? If you go inside the video, all right, and you turn back to the camera, you go inside the settings and you go to the advanced video options, guys. There is this option, high bitrate videos, and when you click inside, guys, then you have the options, you know, about these high efficiency videos, put priority on quality or on saving space. high bitrate videos will take something like 150 to 60 megabits per second. So apparently right now Samsung removed this high bitrate option in 8K, and if you go inside and choose here the 8K 30 FPS and you go inside the settings and you hit on the advanced video options, you can see that the high bitrate is indeed not available. Now if you just go back to UHD 60 and you go inside the settings one more time, and then guys see here high bitrate video is there. So kudos to Blood1847. Thank you so much for discovering this. I was not aware. iRiler is saying that the phone works great. Animations aren't that smooth. Of course, he's using good luck, so with good luck, things are taken to the next level. We have a comment from Darklink43 that the phone sound is working well, the battery is still good. He's getting 9 hours screen on time, even 10 hours screen off after the update. He's saying that the generator camera got improved, but the other issues came, and according to him, the patch is a mixed bag. Then there are some reports from Medicazine 2709 that the face unlock is much faster. I never use it. So is the fingerprint sensor. Animations are smoother, but still not at the level of the iPhone. And this is pretty much it, guys. So of course the main update here in the camera department was apparently this 2x for the portrait mode, and I did a lot of pictures, guys. You can check my dedicated video. I wanted to show this to you. So this here is when you shoot with 1x, guys, and this here is a portrait shot with 2x. Now the thing is, if you shoot a portrait with 1x and you try to crop it, guys, will you get something like 2x? Absolutely yes. Why? Because the 2x portrait is just a crop from the main sensor, and this here, guys, so this is 3x, this is 2x, and then this is 1x. So is this something revolutionary, guys? I don't think so. I also tried to test the zoom level, guys. You know the story where you're invoking something between 3x to 10x and then between 10x to 20x, guys, using certain conditions like lighting scenario whatsoever, you were able to get this like super smoothing. Doesn't still works in an automated fashion. This is 3x, guys, then you can just see 10x, 30x, guys, and every time where we have this digital zoom, people can really tell and see. So I want to show you something else. So this here is 3x, okay, and then guys see this is the 10x where we have the optical zoom, and this is just before 10x, like 8x, and the quality is not so great, but I think that's kind of understood. I was also doing some other things to test out the zoom. So for example, guys, right now you can focus. This is the 1x, and we have 3x, we have 10, 30x, guys, and even up to 100, guys. So I would say that around 30x still Samsung are really the king of the zoom. The only problems that I've been reporting with the night mode is that it causes a lot of noise, and I want also to share my opinion. Noise is not definitely worse, guys, in most of the time. Why? Because first it makes the photo to look a bit more like real photography, guys, and even with the noise applied, you can just get a better understanding of what is going on. Now just see here, guys, this is shot standard photo where no night mode. When I invoke the night mode, guys, it is already getting too soft in here. Everything is muffled, all the details are kind of lost. So it really depends on what you want to shoot, guys. So it really depends on the way you perceive things. I don't think that the camera really went into a worse direction. Yes, there are the noise level there when you shoot night pictures, but it's a phone, and I still believe that it takes some very good night pictures, guys. And yesterday I was to an event, I was taking a lot of pictures just to be able to test this, guys, and I was trying to capture all kind of colors to really be able to assess. Now of course it's a phone, so we cannot expect some magic there, but did really Samsung degrade the camera quality compared to May update? I don't really think so. And again, the main difference really is the inclusion here of this 2x port, which apparently you can also achieve, guys, if you shoot 1x and just do a crop. So nothing again so spectacular. The update is fairly stable, I would say. There could be some bugs, like people reporting things with the fingerprint sensor. There could be some things where the people are not so happy about it. And now, guys, we can speak about the battery life. I am just using this phone with 5G. You can just see my usage in the last 7 days. So guys, I will not lie to you, it's really not perfect. If I'm to take my phone outside and just use heavily the camera, I'm using 5G connection, I am even almost not able to do 4 hours screen on time. And I'm showing you guys here my real usage. So screen on time 3 hours 45 with some charging. Screen on time 5 hours, guys, but you can just see I was topping it up. screen on time almost 5 hours, guys, with some top up again. So it is really, yeah, not that great. I feel that in the beginning I was able to do more and more with the phone, and I really hope that it's gonna get a bit better. But we have to face it, guys, this display is a very good display. 120 Hz WQHD is also a very big display. Right now it's already summer, so it's very hot outside, so I really doubt that I'm going to be able to use the phone like for 6 hours straight on a mobile connection, right? Because every time I'm outside, guys, I'm using the phone with 5G and also with VoLTE and etc. So I can tell you that definitely it didn't really went worse, but it's almost the same, right? So it's not better. If you have some other findings, please share them with me, guys, with us. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please, if you have this phone, the S23 or the S23 Plus, if you have the June update, share your feedback down below this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hey, stay safe until we meet in one of my next videos. And with that said, VST over and bye.